Hey, SOBs. This is your secret keeper of arcane lore, Clint, and we're going to have a slightly different start to the show today. But as always, this is the Neptune Society. Jared Logan is going to be joining me shortly to take over as our regularly scheduled keeper. But in the meantime, I wanted to thank you for sticking with us for the week we took off, and I'd love to introduce you to the players who will be with us for today's adventure, and hopefully the subsequent weeks, provided they survive. Playing Dr. John McCorquodale, our laudanum-soaked Royal Naval Surgeon, we have good pal Humphrey Ker.
Hi.
Hi, Humphrey.
Everybody. Hi, Clint, and everyone. Oh, hello. I just got to work out where I can sit, where I'm in the camera. It's a bit confusing when it's only the two. You need to get a part of your screen.
I think it might also be unclear to a lot of SOBs that you are distressingly tall. So I imagine framing yourself is an issue.
That is true, actually. Yeah, this is my laptop is on a table, on a box, on another box, and then it reaches a height where I can catch my head and some of my chest.
I'm going to bring in the other players just so we can keep the conversation going until Jared joins us, everybody.
Sure.
So, Becca Scott will be joining us in mere moments, but I want to quickly admit to everyone that Becca had to correct me that the keeper of a Call of Cthulhu game is the keeper of arcane lore. I call it the keeper of secrets. She is our new absolute expert on all things Call of Cthulhu. Everyone, Becca Scott.
I would never. That didn't happen. I would never correct you, Clint. I would never do that.
Never.
Me? This one? That's true. I have gotten very obsessed with the Keeper's rulebook. I shouldn't do it. I'm a player here, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I love the mythos.
You're a player here, but on your own Twitch channel, you're going to be running your own game soon. Is that right? Well,
embarrassingly so compared to Jared's incredible Keeper skills. But yes, I'm running the second game I've ever run of Call of Cthulhu on Wednesday on my Twitch channel, which is
all right.
Yeah.
Go follow Becca, everybody. And you are playing your second, but now regular Neptune Society character, Wilma Wiggles, originally Wiggleton, correct? But
I feel like is it my second? No.
Yeah.
No, because there was the first time Humphrey and I played Moira of Mirth.
Gotcha. We played
and then I was Alma, who was killed by a great old one that was like a giant Moby Dick. Indeed. Is Moby Dick the whale or the? Doesn't
Moby Dick
matter.
Is the whale. Yeah.
Great.
He's the whale. He's the
So
whale.
like a Frankenstein's monster situation. Moby Dick's whale. Moby Dick is the whale. Anyway, unrelated. This is my third character, and she is coming back again and again, but she's more serious now. She's aged, and she's really polished her English accent, I'm going to say.
I look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, things like tomato.
Very good, yeah.
And we're all fortunate to be joined by a new player to the Neptune Society and a good friend of Jared, Mr. Phil Walker.
Hi there. Nice to thank you for having me. I'm going to say, Clint, I'm very disappointed in you. I thought it was the Keeper of Secrets, and now I don't know what to believe anymore. It's kind of upsetting.
That's kind of appropriate for this kind of game and setting. You shouldn't trust your eyes, ears, or any of your senses.
And certainly not your keeper.
I like that. You're right. I will say, everyone, please be gentle on me. It's my first time. I have never played a role-playing anything before, so I'm interested. It looks cool. This looks way cooler than Dungeons and Dragons. Don't flame me. Don't at me.
It's true.
But Jared was like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And we had a lot of fun making my character. Do I talk about him now, or do I just?
I want to hear.
Oh, let's go ahead.
Sorry, Secret Keeper.
No, please. I'm over here, absolute flop sweating. So let's.
Me too, but it's just the ring light.
Tell us about Hip Bothwick.
Right, so this is my character that Jared and I created, Pip Bothwick, who is a Scottish aristocrat, and I think the best way to describe him is he is a rich snot who is in over his head.
Sure.
He has also mastered his American accent, so you won't really hear much Scottish from him.
I guess.
Don't worry, I tend to deliver more Scottish than anyone could possibly want on this.
Also true.
Disagree. I'll always take more Scottish.
Yeah, he's yeah.
How old is Pip? How much life
Pip
has
is-
he lived?
Well, he's lived 23 years of nonsense. He is 23 years old, and he's basically a dilettante. So
Sure.
he's just a rich kid who's really into arcane mythology and lore and cryptozoology. That's probably that and having money are probably the only two things he's actually good at. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays with characters who are actually capable.
Sure, he will slap his soft, noble hands at whatever we throw at him.
Right.
Fun fact: no one's very capable in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Although you are with a couple survivors of several adventures, so you're in good hands.
Yeah,
At least that far.
we're grizzled veterans. It's astonishing that Dr. McCorquodale has survived this long.
Hubs is right. I do Humphrey's voice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can only do Scottish when I'm using Humphrey as a ventriloquist dummy.
yeah. I'm a lip syncing champion, and Becca has been pre-recording all of my audio since we started doing the show.
Yeah, you just have one board of like buttons you can push.
Yeah,
pre-recorded
I am. Yeah, my hands are like absolutely flying.
Right.
Below the screen.
Your mouth, it's a little known fact. You actually don't have a mouth. You're just like, this is all CG.
It's just a lot of green tape is slapped over my mouth.
Fed intravenously.
Yeah,
the mustache covers
they
the
glue
screen.
a moustache onto Becca, and then these are her lips.
This is Becca talking.
It's a busy weekend.
Oh, a clutch cargo situation.
Yeah.
Truly, what a deep pull.
So-
I'd
on the
like to know
subject
about
of
Wilma.
grizzled veterans, I was going to throw.
Well, that's great because I was just gonna tell you more about me. Wiggles, Wiggles, Wigglebottom. No, Wilma Wiggles. She changed
What
her
was Wiggles
name.
when we met her?
Huh?
When we met Wiggles.
Yeah, she was Wilma Wigglechin, hardened in the streets of London by way of Bombay, and an orphan, living hand to mouth, singing for her supper, if you will. But she's not a great singer. She just did it. Then she was adopted by Captain Geoffrey Middlemass of the Neptune Society, and under his tutelage. Became more learned, always skeptical of the aristocracy that had shat on her for most of her adolescence. But then she moved to Edinburgh because she heard of a great doctor here who would teach her in secret. Or I don't know, I'm saying too much. This is Jared's purview.
No, that's true.
But
That's second in today's adventure. Yeah.
Well, if he's got something to say about it, let him show up. Am I right,
Yeah,
Carl?
let him show up. So, things that Wilma was great at before were throwing rocks. In fact, one time she threw a rock with such extreme accuracy right in between the eyes of a vicious orangutan that was capturing her two siblings after they were adopted. And it fell from the rooftop after it tottered. For a while, so throwing is definitely a skill.
Is that what we're saying?
There he is! Dude, we're doing a show!
Who is this interloper?
So Jared and I are going to set up for a moment. You guys
They're gonna get
enjoy
cuddly.
each other's.
Okay, we'll talk about our characters.
I'll come in. You go get out while they set up Clint.
Tag team. Okay,
Hi,
so
everybody.
the thing that she... Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
She replaced her rock throwing with knife throwing, and her throwing skill has only improved since the days of her youth. She's also become quite the amateur professional in chemistry, biology, and physics, and learned some Latin because she had found an eldritch tome in the Order of Dagon's headquarters, and decided to study Latin to understand more of what was there. And as she did, she gained some points in Cthulhu mythos and lost some sanity.
Woman
Ooh.
of many parts.
She is. Oh, how fun. Pip actually knows Latin. He studied it in prep school.
What? Oh my god, you'd love to read my tome. My tome, I found it.
What's up, everybody? I'm going to explain a little bit about what's going on so that people aren't totally confused. So, as you can see, Jared is now over at Clint's. That's because Jared is having some technical difficulties at his regular streaming spot. So, we're vamping as we're starting the show for a little bit. And he's getting set up, and now here he is.
Hello.
So, hi, everybody. Thanks for being patient with us. I'm going to step out, and we're going to start the show. Have fun, everybody.
Hey,
Bye.
thank you, Brian.
Don't worry, Jared. Are you out of breath?
I'm a little sweaty. It's like 110 degrees outside,
Yeah.
and I ran 3 miles. No, I got in my car and I got over to Clint's so that we could play some Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Guys, sorry for the delay. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. And all my players have already been introduced. Right? You guys have all said hello already?
Well, we haven't had a recap of what McCorquodale has been up to lately.
Oh, I can tell you
That's
that.
a good idea.
If you want to know. So,
I don't
after
Well, wait.
being...
Let me just.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
No.
Okay. So have each of you told who your character is? No. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So first of all, I have Humphrey Ker as Dr. John McCorquodale. Tell us a little bit about McCorquodale, and yes, as Becca suggested, where he's been lately.
Yes, so those that have seen some of the previous adventures of the Neptune Society will be familiar with Dr. John McCorquodale as the former erstwhile naval surgeon of a variety of different Royal Navy ships. Everything from a first rate to a frigate. There's nothing afloat that I've not served on at one time or another, and in those journeys I've travelled around the globe many, many times. At a certain point, I was politely asked to leave the Navy by the Admiralty after a disagreement about some of the events that I had been part of. And so I returned to my home, Edinburgh, Scotland, where I, took my considerable skills in the natural world and medicine and surgery and things like that, and presented myself at the University of Edinburgh Medical School. And they turned me down, which was that's their prerogative, of course. Totally understandable. Like, it's up to them. They make those decisions. And so I set up a small academic institution of my own in Leith Walk in Edinburgh, where I advertised in the newspaper, the Edinburgh Evening News, for students. And I won't say the uptake was quite what I would have hoped, but I have taken on a few people who I can share with them some of my many years of life experience.
That's right. So Leith Walk is where you've decided the place that you're teaching your new students.
That's what I was able to afford to rent, yes. Not in Newtown, not in Old Town, but top of Leith Walk, yes, that's right.
Leith Walk?
Yes.
Leith Walk,
right.
Okay.
Leith Walk's the road that runs down from the Newtown down towards Leith, where the docks are.
The docks.
To university.
Very thematic for the Neptune Society. So you've taken on 2 students, and these students are one of a connection to the Neptune Society already. Becca, why don't you tell us what Wilma Middlemass has been up to since we last saw her?
I actually gave them just a little bit of a rundown.
While I was running.
As you were running, I was
running down to
with Wilma's update. And so they're good, but yes, she is secretly enrolled, of course, because she is a woman and society is stupid. She is, of course, maintained some of her brusque outer exterior, even though her credit rating has improved notably by being a Middlemass.
Yes, absolutely. So she still keeps her low class roots, but she's got a little bit of that high class money now.
She can speak as if she were one of them, but right down to it, she ain't.
Yeah, excellent. And Phil, did you already give your character rundown? Did you guys play the adventure already while I was
did,
gone?
yeah. We
did.
had to Google Drive and read your notes.
I'll do a full introduction.
Please, sir.
Hello, my name is Pip Bothwick. That's Borthwick. Once again, in case you missed it the first time, it's Borthwick, and Pip is spelled how it sounds, PIP. I'm so pleased to be on an adventure and a journey with you, Dr. McCorquodale, and Nice to meet you too, Wilma. I have to say, I'm very excited. Patterson and I, forgive me for not introducing Patterson first of all. Patterson is my loyal manservant. We do everything together. He really is fantastic. And since I was a boy, I've just been in love with cryptozoology and the arcane, and I'm so excited to be working with you, Dr. McCorquodale. You're a legend, and I must say I'm a little concerned to hear that you're having some financial difficulty because I gave you a payment the other day, and yes. I'm wondering where that went. But
school supplies are expensive, boy.
Of course,
very
what was
expensive.
I thinking? You're right. Silly me. Well, at any rate, I'm just very excited to be here. This will be a grand adventure, and to be with such a legend, and also you too, Wilma. Nice to meet you.
Pip, do you always talk so much?
You know, it's very funny. I've always heard that from everyone, the governess, my nan, my mother, sometimes Patterson even too. But and people say, and I thought about it. Do you really talk too much, Pip? But I don't think I talk too much. I think that I think one of my best. Sorry, I apologize. I have a bit of a stutter. But one of my best aspects is the fact that I'm able to keep things brief and to the point.
Right.
As evidenced by that monologue. Okay, so what are you teaching them today? And describe the room where they're studying, Dr. McCorquodale, here on Leith Walk in Edinburgh.
Certainly. So my school/surgery is in the basement of what was once upon a time a flower shop. It smells extremely dank of rotting vegetation, and try as I might with the old vinegar and vim, I've not been able to get that smell out, unfortunately. But the smell has also been made worse by the fact that I've also managed to secure myself a cadaver.
Wow.
Yes, and so I've been dissecting the cadaver for the benefit of my two students, just chopping bits out, taking things out and being like, now this, well, you don't want to lose this. That's mostly what most of my lecture is just like, listen, there's some parts of you can lose, and there's some parts of you that you cannot. And your spleen, yeah, you don't want to lose that. Oh, no.
It's good.
Doctor, are you saying that these other bits, like the heart there, you can't lose?
No, I'm sorry. Once again, I've got carried away with myself. Master Middlemass. Almost all of the things that I've taken out from within the body, you cannot lose. This thing here, the appendix, that can go. But
that makes sense. A moment. Patterson, be sure to get that down. We can lose the appendix. Go on, doctor.
You're not taking your own notes?
No, I find it's better that I just absorb it. I think Patterson is also much better at taking down dictation than I am. I'm more of a thinker, an idea guy. You get it.
About that.
Will Patterson be receiving a degree as well?
No. Not unless he pays. But I do think he should probably pay because he's also receiving the benefit of my my years of wisdom.
Doctor, I want you to roll medicine, and if you succeed, both of your students can check their medicine skill.
Okay.
And they may improve in it later.
Let me ask you, does a hard success count as giving them a decent education in medicine? Because I rolled a 34 and a 17.
That's excellent. So both of our investigators who are students, Pip Bothwick and Wilma Middlemass, can make a little check beside their medicine skill, and maybe they'll earn more in the next session.
Patterson can make a check, but only if he pays. He has to pay me 10 guineas.
All right. I think we can make that work.
Pip, since you're not furiously taking notes, Patterson's doing it for you. Maybe you would like to give me a spot hidden roll.
Certainly. Which dice should I use for that one?
You'll always use. So our friend Phil is new to Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. You'll always use your two little 10-sideds, and you'll roll a percentile roll, right? You try. One is your 10s die, one is your 1s die, and you're trying to get like a 41 or a 52 or whatever. You want to roll under your skill.
There's a lot of dice.
Sorry.
So I'll roll my two. I'll roll my two 10-sided dice, right? So
yes, that's right.
18.
That's an excellent roll. So Pip, as Dr. McCorquodale is letting everybody know about the miracle that is the appendix. You look out through the little barred kind of basement window. Like, there's barely any good light in this room, which is probably to the doctor's taste, so that people don't see he has a cadaver down here. But looking out, you see two very large feet, and they are in like very rough, like the poorest of the poor type of shoes, where someone's literally just kind of stitched together some like leather to just cover their feet, and the feet are enormous. They're incredibly enormous. And Pip, you honestly get the feeling that whoever is standing there is listening to all of you.
I'm sorry, you have to pay. You can't just listen. Sir, you can't just listen. I'm sorry, sir. You said that Patterson has to pay, but this gentleman doesn't have to.
Oh, you're right. I'm not giving
away for everyone.
I'm not giving away free lessons here. And the doctor runs to the door and throws it open. It's like, get off out of it! Go on, fuck off!
The feet they take their time. Like whoever it is turns and just slowly walks out of view of the window. They've made a decision to move. They didn't run off when you yelled at them.
Can I run out behind, just peek behind Corkadal and just get sizes this? What does the rest of the body look like?
Oh, you're running outside. Okay, yes, of course.
Just peek around.
Yeah. You run out. You run up the steps. You're underneath this flower shop, and you throw open the door to the street. And let's see. I want a spot hidden from you as well. Yeah. Now you're gonna see who this is no matter what. But if you succeed, maybe you'll see more.
That's the face that says I did not succeed.
No, but I could always spin luck.
You can spin luck.
I don't see who it is, but I'm going to push the roll. I'm going to run down the street and get a better look at them.
Yeah, that sounds fine if that's what you'd like to do. Now, remember, when you push a roll, it means you roll the second time, but if you fail the second time, something terrible happens. So, how'd you do, Wilma?
I think it went well.
You failed again.
Mm-hmm.
Wilma runs down the streets of Edinburgh. She's going across the cobblestones, and she sees the figure ahead of her. She sees this huge looming figure ahead of her, and this figure is dressed in like modern clothing for 1858, and kind of trundling along. And she grabs him by the shoulder. This is what your failure does, and spins him around. And she's looking at a man who has been stitched together. This enormous creature. Yeah, no, yes, it's him. It's him. Yes, this enormous creature looks down at you, and there's something about him where you can just tell this isn't a living man. This is some sort of like homunculus that's been stitched together. The way it moves is not quite the way a person moves, and it instantly fills you with revulsion. Wilma, roll your sanity.
Different dice. Here we go. Is a 95 a critical failure, or is that a 96?
It's not a critical failure, but you do lose a D8 of sanity, Wilma. Would you like to roll it?
Yeah.
Roll that.
Oh, here we go.
You might go mad.
3.
Okay.
3, that's not too bad. So if you lost 5 or over, you might have gone temporarily insane, but you did not. You only lost 3. And so now the thing is right there on top of you. And, he takes the moment when you're kind of shocked and you're shaking for a second to grab you, Wilma, and like pull you toward him. And his breath is like the breath of a carnal grave. And he says,
"Oh, no.
Bring the doctor to me. Bring him to me now."
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Sir, I'm sorry. What doctor?
If you're not, go ahead, Pip.
So I'm running up to Wilma right now. She's a ruffian, but she's part of the class. So I take a shot at the monster with my rifle. I am good.
Okay,
no.
Pip, you're running up out of the doctor's, surgery where he's teaching you all, and you keep your rifle nearby. Patterson keeps it on him. You run out into the street, and you're going to fire your rifle. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, I think you should try. Give it a shot. I think that, you can see where Wilma has just kind of been pushed back by the figure. It is midday in the middle of Edinburgh in the year 1858.
And I am rich.
Right, exactly. Maybe you can get away with it. You are of the money class. So, surely some rifles got shot in the middle of the street at some point in Edinburgh's history. Let's see it happen right now. Make the shot.
I'm right in the middle of trying to talk to the thing.
I roll a 12.
That is a great.
That's a good roll.
That's a great shot. So I want you to go ahead and roll your damage. Your damage should be right there on the description of the gun at the bottom of your sheet. It's probably a D10, I believe, +1.
It's on the description.
On the bottom under weapons.
Yeah, your weapons. Here, I have it for you.
Thank you.
No problem. 1 second. Here we go.
Oh, okay. My damage is 1d10 plus 4.
1d10 plus 4.
Roll a d10.
Oh, roll a d10. Roll a d10. Okay.
By the way, McCorquodale and Patterson are just back in the shop being like, where did they go?
Yeah.
Seven.
Okay. Your shot goes off, and you rolled a 12. You didn't. That was an excellent shot. It hits him in the shoulder. Suddenly, there are screams from the other people walking around the street because someone has just opened fire in the middle of the street.
No worries. I was just protecting this gutter punk from this monster here. Nothing to see. Carry on, people.
I'm well dressed.
He doesn't even go down. He takes a rifle shot to the shoulder and doesn't go down. He looks at you.
I'm running. I stop what I was saying and I turn and I sprint back towards the flower shop.
Well, that's gratitude for you.
He looks Bothwick in the eyes, and there's a look of rage and just anger in his eyes, and then he's into an alleyway.
Oh, he flees.
Well, no one can stand up to a Bothwick, man. That's on our family crest.
Get back in the flower shop. I don't think you're safe now.
So I presume that I'm going to say the doctor has now mounted the steps to the streets. He's come out. I was like, "What's going on out here?" And with Patterson, I said, "What's happening?"
You grab the doctor.
Oh my God! Have you shot someone?
Doctor, there was a creature and it's looking for you. It asked me to deliver you to it.
What kind of creature?
It's stitched together.
Listen, if this is someone I owe money, what? Stitched together?
Yes, imagine if you took all of your corpses you collected and then you sewed them together.
I haven't done that.
It was a terrifying.
Oh, now you're making me think that you have done it.
No, well,
have you done it?
No.
Did you know that thing?
Listen, okay, find somebody in this city who's worked with corpses who hasn't thought about stitching them together, okay? Yes,
I've thought about it. Yes, but I haven't.
Yes.
We've all thought about it.
Yes, I've written
think about it. You don't do it.
I've authored a number of peer-reviewed papers about doing it, but I've never done it myself in actuality.
Is that true?
Yeah, yes, I've not done it, okay? This isn't like, it's not I made this thing and then it's coming after me again.
McCorquodale, do you know why it's looking for you?
And why it can take one of my crack shots and keep going.
Well,
It was a crack shot. Well done, Bothwick, even though I think it was maybe poorly thought out.
I mean, there's an argument to be made that you're at pretty close range and it's a big guy, but I mean, yeah, it's good. It's a good shot. It's a good shot, I suppose.
You could have missed and hit me, and I'm very grateful that you didn't.
Well,
yes.
I've been shooting since I was 3, but so you were never in any danger.
People started to congregate.
Now pointing at you 3. They're pointing at Pip and his rifle, and actually
admirers, no doubt. We should probably go into the flower shop, right?
Some of Her Majesty's soldiers have been summoned. I guess that there were some nearby. Maybe they were like.
I'd like to step forward and say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for. I hope you enjoyed this small taste of our production that is coming this summer to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival every day, 5 p.m. at the Underbelly Jelly Belly Dancer, or whatever the fucking names of those stupid venues are these days. That's what they were called in my day, 10 years ago. That was the last time I was at the Edinburgh Festival. Will anyone who presents themselves and gives the special watchword of "Don't shoot people in the street" will get half price off all their tickets. All right.
Be sure to join us next week.
Dancing this whole time using my old skills.
Be sure everyone in the audience to join us next week for our presentation of Pirates of Penzance.
Yes, exactly, Pip. Which is going to be on at the Playhouse. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I need a fast talk roll. That was an epic fast talk, Doctor.
Yes.
With Wilma using her old dancing and singing skills from her days as a child performer on the street, I'll go ahead and give you a bonus die to that.
That's good, because my fast talk is 5.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 67. But let's see, even if I roll a 0, I'm still going to miss. But only by 2, so I could spend the luck. Come on, Daddy 0. Ooh, so close. 47.
Okay, so rather than play out every moment of this, I will simply say that McCorquodale, Bothwick, and Wilma are then questioned very carefully about everything that happened by Her Majesty's soldiers who happen to be nearby, and all of McCorquodale's neighbors are watching and listening. And I think it's safe to say that all three of you, you have these great credit rating scores. But right now in this neighborhood where you operate and work and live every day, your credit rating is going to be maybe going to have a penalty die. Maybe difficulties are going to be hard because you've been asked about your associates and why you're firing guns in the middle of the street, and it's bad. It's quite bad, and you might face litigation.
Yep.
So.
Now you say everyone's credit rating is good, but what do you mean by the word good? Because not very good.
Pip and Wilma definitely have good credit rating now. I don't know. McCorquodale, his has been dipping since his entire career, really. So I think we adjourn this scene for right now. Yes.
Oh.
No, that's okay. Go ahead, Phil.
Can I roll a spot hidden?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something on one of the guards that would allow me to talk our way out of this situation, since I am an aristocrat. Perhaps I know. Perhaps I know something. Perhaps I know something.
I'll let you do. I'll let you roll your credit rating at hard to try to smooth things over. So hard means you try to roll under half your credit rating. The two little numbers beside your credit rating.
Right.
Use the top right one.
All right. So I will roll.
Come on, Pip.
10.
Hello.
Okay. Pip has managed to smooth things over, but the whole incident, leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And there could be further complications from this as we go forward.
I was taking a class at the flower shop, and I don't think they believed me.
Yeah. No, I mean, the problem is that the doctor is teaching people surgery illegally. And in 1858, Edinburgh, there were a lot of regulations and laws about, what you could do with, say, bodies and things like that.
What about shooting people in the street?
That
was fine.
That was the beginning of the embarrassment. But luckily, Pip's hard credit rating roll saved them from going down into the surgery and seeing that the doctor had taken a cadaver. So
you need to thank me.
Yeah. What I would like to do now is I would like to end the scene and let me know where you go home to. What does it look like when you go home? And I think actually let's be brief. We don't have to do a full scene, but where is Wilma staying right now?
I'm staying in a boarding house. Mrs. Oh, I always forget her name. Mrs. Worthing. Mrs. Worthing's boarding house, yes. She's a nice old lady. She doesn't ask many questions. She only allows young women in this boarding house, young unmarried women.
And as you go in, she goes, "Miss Middlemass."
Yes?
"A gentleman called for you today."
A gentleman? For me?
Well, I use the term loosely. Quite a large man came and asked if you were home.
Wait, how large? Did he look ill?
He looked like a beggar, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying so.
Large beggar man. Interesting. No giant fur coat.
Yes and no. He was dressed warmly. Yes.
If he ever comes back, please tell him I don't live here anymore and to go away, if you don't mind.
You're not in any sort of trouble, are you, miss?
No, I've just been followed. I'm not the trouble, he is, you understand.
Well, I don't want trouble here.
Neither do
So
I.
if there's going to be any, you need to tell me.
No, certainly not. I don't know how anyone would find this address.
Very well. Pip,
Yes.
tell me what home looks like for you.
We're in Bothwick Castle. It's a little drafty, and to do that, I like to warm myself up with a nice bath. Patterson, if you mind drawing me a bath, and you may join me afterwards, so we can have a towel when I need it. Really, just enjoying the night and regaling the day. I had quite an exciting evening, Patterson. I saved a gutter snipe from some hideous monster wearing an even more hideous fur coat.
I know, sir. I was there. I'll draw your bath, sir. And will you be wanting your silk slippers tonight?
Oh, probably. Yes. No, you know what? Just bring them just in case. Better to have them and not need them. Am I right, Patterson?
Yes, sir. I wonder if I might be bold enough to make a recommendation.
Oh, certainly.
When your parents put me in charge of your well-being,
Yes, you've done an excellent job so far.
Yes, sir. Well, they asked me to keep you safe. And, sir, when you opened fire on that man, well, sir, that wasn't a very safe thing to do.
But it worked, Patterson. He was attacking that woman.
It worked, sir, yes. Yes, of course it did, but... Well, sir, if I was derelict in my duty, if some harm came to you, Sir, it would be a great sadness to me.
Don't cry, don't cry, Patterson. I can't stand to see you sad. If it'll make you feel better, I won't take shots at people in the middle of the street anymore.
Well, I suppose that will have to do, sir. And he pours you back. Dr. McCorquodale,
So
tell me what home looks like for you.
We find Dr. McCorquodale in a set of rooms behind the flower shop basement. There's like another set of rooms there, and he is currently arguing very vociferously with Mehmet, who is the head of the Turkish family who live upstairs and run the Turkish restaurant like upstairs. And he's like, "For God's sake, Mehmet, I've told you 1,000 times. I'll get you your money by Thursday. Look, I've tried to explain this to you. I don't know how I can make myself any clearer, okay? All I need is just to get a couple more students, and I'm going to be absolutely raking it in."
Mehmet tells you, no money, no room, and no mail anymore, and throws a letter down at your feet and walks out of the room disgusted.
Oh, Mehmet, one more thing before you go. Absolutely, go fuck yourself. All right, just swung the door shut. Yeah, I fucking told him. Unbelievable. And the man's unreasonable. He's unreasonable. As if my word isn't good. And I open my letters, start sorting through my mail. Bill.
You open. What you actually open is one letter that has been sent to you. Notice that it hasn't even been sent by post. It looks like it may have been dropped off by messenger. Also, it must have happened while you were out the last couple of hours. And it is from your sister Margaret, and it says, "John, please come quickly."
My God, Margaret. I stuff the letter into my pocket, and I go and grab my big overcoat, still very faded naval blue. It once was a rather proud coat, now it's fallen slightly on hard times, and I stuff my hat onto my head and pick up a walking stick with a solid kind of metal. It's probably was silver plated at one stage, but the silver started to rub off, and you can see it's pewter underneath. Oh, things have gone tough. Things have gone tough for old John. And then I shove my hat onto my head, and I make my way out into the Edinburgh streets.
I'm standing right at the door when you open it.
Excellent.
Master Middlemass, what are you doing here this time of day?
Yes, Doctor, I know this is strange for me to come not during class, but, I had to leave my boarding house. I've packed this bag, you see, and I don't know where to go. That creature, it was searching for me. I'm sure of it. And it asked for you, so I figure you're not safe either, and, if we're in it together, I'd better go where you go.
I bang on the it bangs on the door.
What's going on?
How many doors are there?
Lord Bothwick, what are you doing here?
Hello, Dr. McCorquodale. I have to say, I was just talking to Patterson, and he informed me that perhaps it was a little rude for me to take shots at people in the middle of the street. So I wanted to come and apologize, and to you as well, Miss Middlemass.
Patterson says, I told him it could wait till tomorrow, sir.
Well, listen, it's very good of you. In fact, your arrival could not have come at a more appropriate time. I've just received word from my dear sister Margaret that she appears to be in some sort of trouble, and knowing the sort of trouble that Margaret gets into, we might want to go mob-handed. She does a bit of this and does a bit of this. That's the international symbol for playing dice, and sometimes she gets Sorry, you can't really see it.
May I suggest that we keep one eye open and looking over our shoulder at all times?
Yes. Listen, this fellow that you saw today, obviously I was not there, I didn't see him, but this city's full of strange people that always want to come for you. I mean, usually, yes, they're debt collectors and things like that, so we should keep our eye out for one of these thugs, but the main thing is we must, for God's sake, get the Margaret.
Doctor, this did not look like a debt collector, at least not in a monetary sense. Can I roll for spot hidden as I just look out on the street and, check around?
Sure, yeah, you may.
Okay, I'm just looking over my shoulder constantly. Oh wow, we got a hard success.
So as you're making your way to Dr. McCorquodale's sister's home, Wilma, her head's on a swivel. She's just looking down every alleyway. And it's Edinburgh, 1858. There's sloping streets. They're covered in cobblestones. And it's a smoky town, right? So as you go by certain alleyways, just billowing clouds almost of smoke kind of pour out of different alleyways. And you see a shadow in every corner, Wilma. You see also the abject poor. And occasionally you jump because you think, it's him! Because many of them are so sick and so poverty-stricken that they are in different levels of sickness and pox.
Don't be afraid, Wilma. I find them alarming as well, even when they don't have the pox.
Well, I used to be one of them. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, there's no sanitation yet. It hasn't really been it hasn't been upgraded or modernized yet in the year 1858. That's coming soon, but you're occasionally stepping over little rivers of offal as you move to Margaret's house. And where shall we?
I've been one of those once.
Where shall we place Margaret's residence, Dr. McCorquodale? Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I think so. Margaret lives in Morningside in Edinburgh, so she has she's managed to retain an air of respectability that perhaps has eluded me after all these years.
And Margaret, at this point, is a widow. Her own husband has passed. And so you arrive at her respectable residence.
Before we enter, I have a quick question. What sort of things should we be wearing to this? Will we be having dinner first, or is this more of a social occasion? I just want to coordinate.
I was wondering, why are you making Patson lug around that huge suitcase full of clothes? For God's sake, man, you should just have left those at the school.
You're right.
You're fine as you are.
You're right, just a smoking jacket will do.
Yeah, oh, for goodness sake. All right, fine.
Patterson hands you the jacket you'll be needing.
All right.
Yes. And so as Pip dons his smoking jacket, you are looking through a wrought iron gate. The gate is covered in ivy and It's kind of like made to look beautiful and old and gothic in that lovely Edinburgh way. And then there is a respectable lawn, and then a house that reminds you a lot of Captain Middlemass's Wilma. It's not an enormous mansion. It's sort of a city.
I'll say
townhouse of the modern style. And so there it is before you. And it is quite dark now because you all met up kind of at dusk there. And so you notice that there appears to be a single lamp burning inside. And let me know what you'd like to do.
I'm going to go knock on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Maggie!
As you do that, the door goes open, Doctor.
Ooh, I'm going to cock my walking stick.
Okay, you're walking.
Is this a good time to have my rifle?
Listen, I can't believe the lesson of today should have been don't just get your rifle out at any time. But actually, yes, now it does so happen that yes, you should get your rifle out.
All right,
He said it's okay, Patterson.
Every day.
I place my hand on the small of my back where I have one of my 3 throwing knives. I have one on each ankle as well. And I'm wearing like very simple, sensible skirt, but underneath and on top, I'm wearing men's clothing. I wear the skirt because I've found when I wear only men's clothing, I get in quite a bit of trouble.
Yes, but ready to jump into action at any moment. So noted. So knives, rifles, and walking sticks are cocked and ready. Let me know. Would you like to proceed?
Yeah, absolutely. I push the door. I go, Maggie, it's John.
I stay outside the door and I peek.
Yeah,
around.
opening into the little vestibule. You can see to the right is sort of your sister's parlor. Where she might entertain guests. They can look out the big window, and that's where the candle was lit.
What a lovely closet.
Yes. So in that parlor, you do see Margaret kind of sitting at the little kind of tea table, like with her eyes like this, like just staring over at you, McCorquodale.
Maggie, what's going on?
I run over to her and I get down on one knee and I just sort of get in her face just to say, "Are you all right, miss?"
Okay, so as you are running over to her, Wilma, out of the shadows and into the lamplight steps the stranger from earlier. And he puts a hand on her shoulder and he goes, ah.
Oh, he's dressed all fancy.
Yes, now he's a fancy man.
I train my rifle on him and ask him who he is.
I have no name, young lord. One of the many things that was never given me in this life.
Sir, were you born or were you created?
Ask the good doctor. Do you remember me, doctor? Do you remember meeting me 12, 13 years ago?
Yes, I remember. How could I forget the biting cold? Your foul, really foul face.
Yes, I am hideous.
Yes.
Hideous
Agreed. Outside
and hideous within.
And
the way the
wardrobe.
world has treated me. People like you have treated me.
Now, I walk up to him and ask him why he's so mad at the good doctor and what the doctor ever did to him.
The doctor, destroyed by one chance at creating new life, the one chance at having one person in this world who would not cower in fear at my face. Look at my face, young lord! And when he says that, he steps really into the light, Pip Bothwick, and you can see that his jaw doesn't quite move correctly. His eyes sort of move on their own, and his entire animation, there's something wrong and repulsive about it, and I need a sanity roll from Pip Bothwick, but not from Dr. McCorquodale. You've faced this creature before.
I have.
6.
A 6?
Yes.
You lose your sanity, Pip. You are, as usual, unflapped and unfazed.
But I do run behind Wilma, using her as a human shield, still with my rifle trained on this terrifying human being.
Perfect.
Sir, what if I gave you a name?
I don't
I'm
want
going
any
to call
name.
you Henry.
I don't want any
Henry,
name that you would give me.
Well, too bad. I've given you one, and you're Henry now, and I will call
Yeah.
you that.
We are
Nice to
gonna
meet you,
refer
Henry.
Now, Henry, why can't we just speak sensibly, and why can't Margaret leave the room?
Margaret stays here, and he puts his hand around her neck and kind of holds it there, and you can see his whole hand almost reaches around her neck, and you can see that tears are coming out of her eyes, and she's shaking.
But that's
It's
enough,
going to be
Henry.
okay, Margaret.
There's no need for anything silly.
I think talking sensibly is a good thing to do. So let us talk sensibly.
Splendid. Shall we have it over dinner, say?
I'm not hungry.
Is Patterson in the room?
Patterson
He-
is in the room.
He is, yeah.
Oh, darn.
Oh, he doesn't have
Could
to.
have been in the hall. No, too late.
Do you want him out of the room? What are you thinking?
No, I was just curious if we had, a backup you didn't know about yet, but I think he said he's in the room.
Patterson's there, and he's kind of like trying to get in front of Pip. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He wouldn't know about martial arts, but he's trying
I
to
sort
kind
of
of.
stumble
He's
forward
got the-
as he's trying to get in between me, and Pip is
Yes.
right behind me.
Box for the army in his youth.
Um,
So Henry,
so-
what is it you want from me? What's brought you?
My
all the
name
way
is not
from
Henry.
Bruce? Oh,
I
sorry,
have no
okay.
name.
Now,
Okay.
Henry, we all decided your name is Henry, so
Well,
You
I
were the
just
one-
thought you'd like it. You said no one had given you a name.
I think Henry's a
You-
lovely name.
You were the one who destroyed the notes. I know this because a seaman that I talked to in London, one of the ones who pierced my flesh with lead, he told me that you were the one that threw away the notes of the man who created me, burned them.
I
Well,
recall
I did.
my history of studying Dr. McCorquodale, and I try to recall the notes. I'm familiar with most of his readings, but maybe I remember this one.
McCorquodale, did you put this into your memoir? You probably. We assumed, Pip and I assumed that you wrote a memoir about going to the North Pole. It probably didn't sell very well, but
No.
Doctor,
said it
did
was-
you add the story of the encounter with the strange stitched together man in your memoir?
I spoke of this encounter certainly, but I did not make any notes of the notes that I found. I destroyed them because they were an abomination
Well,
before God.
those notes contained a ritual by which I was given life by the great Dr. Conrad. Do you remember him from your university days, Doctor? He was a colleague of yours.
It was, indeed.
Yes.
Corpsey
Yes.
Conrad, we called him, because he spent so much time around corpses.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
We were a
Doctor,
very literal class.
well, Doctor, I can tell you with great satisfaction that he died chasing me across that very ice where we met.
Indeed.
He died only a few miles from you. And the world is better having lost him. But you destroyed the thing I needed, his notes from which he created me.
But you yourself say that the life you have is nothing but a half-life, and you would curse some other poor creature to that existence? Call yourself a Christian, Henry!
You did say that, Henry.
Henry, what if you maybe started wearing masks? I know many clubs in Edinburgh who, well, you're
What if I
probably
snap
Yeah,
off
and I can
Margaret's
call
head?
you the family, and we can get you a beautiful one designed. Would you like to be a blonde or a brunette?
What if I snapped off Margaret's head now?
Please don't.
Okay. All right, Becca.
Margaret passes out in his arms. And he
Well,
says,
Okay.
Do you let her go after that?
he's got her still. He's holding on.
So I
He said-
secretly signal for Patterson to go while we've been talking to go around behind Henry and try to disarm him so that we can free Margaret.
Why don't you give me a sleight of hand roll, and the creature is going to finish his monologue.
Please.
He's going to say, We don't have to be enemies, Doctor. You may disagree that it is a worthy thing to bring another like me into the world, and yet you will do it for me. Because although you destroyed the notes, I remembered the book wherein Dr. Conrad found the ritual. It is a black book, originally written by an Arab many hundreds of years ago. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., a boat called the Narius will dock at Edinburgh. On that boat is a man named Mar. He has just purchased the doctor's copy of that book. You will retrieve the book. You will translate the book for me. And then you will conduct the ritual. The ritual that will create another like me. So that I do not have to be alone anymore. So that I can know the touch of another who is not repulsed by me. You will do this, or I will kill this woman. I will kill your friends, he points at Wilma. I will kill your family, he points at Pip. And then you will die. Pip, how did your sleight of hand roll go?
89.
That's a failure. And so Patterson does sneak out the back. And someone can make a psychology roll if they'd like.
I'm going to give it a try, even though I'm shy. Actually, I've only got a 10. Has anyone got better psychology than me?
No, I've got that. I'm going to roll 2.
Nope.
Oh, I got a 2 out of 10.
Check it. Because what you catch is that the creature notes Patterson leaving. Like, he just hints it with like a movement of his eyes. Because Pip failed his sleight of hand roll to kind of gesture to like go around.
But he doesn't move to follow at all?
No, he says, you're playing games. I told you not to play games. Pip Bothwick, you shouldn't have told your man to try to sneak up on me. Now I have to show you that I'm serious.
In the moment when I see his eyes look to the side.
Well, it's too late. I mean, here's the deal. You can rush to try to stop him.
Oh, I have my hand on my knife and I want to throw it right at his throat.
Okay, great. He's going to do he's gonna do his attack and just see. He gets an automatic success, but he's going to see how well he does. What would the other two like to do?
No, is he turning to attack Patterson, or is he yanking my beloved sister's head off?
Yeah.
He's yanking her head off. He's twisting it.
Motherfucker. I don't think I know how to react. I mean, I'm...
Then Dr. McCorquodale, you may make a sanity roll. And Pip Bothwick, what would you have to do?
I'm taking a shot. I got to say Patterson.
Take your shot, Pip. And here we go. He goes to twist. Wilma, let loose your knife.
I pass.
You still take, McCorquodale, you still take 2 sand loss, McCorquodale. And I can't believe you only take 2 sand loss from seeing your own beloved sister, her head like cracked like a doll in front of you. And,
you never even got a line. You never even got to speak, and you're dead already.
I know. And how'd you do, Wilma? You say you hit?
As soon as I see his shoulders start to twist, I grab the knife on the small of my back and I flick it with such precision. If there were such a thing as an extreme of success, that's what I did to aim right in the middle of his throat.
You got it? What was your score?
6 out of my throw is 75.
Okay, and how'd you do, Pip? I want to know how you did as well before I narrate what happened here.
Well, certainly. I did a 50.
Okay. Is that under your skill for shooting?
Let's see. No.
Okay. Pip's shot goes wide. the window behind the creature and Miss McCorquodale, the sister Margaret,
Hasty. Mrs.
shatters
Hasty.
open,
Margaret Hasty.
and you see Patterson like duck out of the way of your bullet, Pip, and a knife goes into the creature's hand. And maybe his blow wasn't as fatal as it might have been. Maybe it wasn't because of.
Oh, I wasn't trying to protect her. I was trying to kill him because he threatened Wilma Wiggles Middlemass.
Very good. He now has a knife sticking through his hand, and Margaret is on the floor with her head like twisted almost clean off, and he walks toward you and says, "You cannot kill me. Do as I ask or suffer the consequences."
All right. Listen, not Henry. We'll do as you ask. Just please, let me check on my sister. Let me see if she's still alive. She's all I've got in this world.
And I go and check. I go and take my sister's pulse.
Okay. It has stopped. McCorquodale, if you can get an extreme medicine success right now, you can stop her from dying. Extreme, McCorquodale.
Can I spend 6 luck?
Yes, you may.
Then she's fine! She's gonna be okay! Oh,
Yeah,
she's
you
still alive. I
realize
don't know if she's gonna be okay.
Like
She's
it looks
alive.
like he hasn't actually broken the nerves in the neck, so you have to like hold her head like very steady, or Margaret is going to die. And he goes, 2 p.m. Narius. Find the book and bring it back to your surgery.
Here goes my wife.
Or someone else will die. And then he starts to climb out the window. Now, I don't want to make this is not a
Does he drop
railroad. If
the
you
knife?
want to stop him, chase him, attack him, they are welcome to do that.
Does he drop the knife on his way to climb out?
Yeah, he pulled it out of his hand and dropped it.
Okay, I grab it off the floor and wipe it off and put it back in its slot.
He gets up into the window and looks back at you, and what the hell? There's a thunderstorm now.
Where did that come from?
I know! You wouldn't think there wouldn't be kind of enough of an open view.
It was bright
but there
sunshine
is.
when we came in here.
Yeah, and then he is off into the night.
Wait, I wait till he walks away. Can I jump through the window, and then I want to stay maybe 50 feet behind him, and I want to see if I can recite something. I don't know any spells, but I want to try and recite something that I learned out of the Cthulhu.
The Aquadingen. Yes. Well, this is a great question. Did Wilma read the Cathat Aquadingen in the years between her last escapade and now?
Keeper. She learned Latin. She read
Yes.
it over and over and over. And she also, with your permission, rolled to gain some extra Cthulhu mythos and then lost according sanity. So now she's at 16.
We sort of, yeah. Oh, she did. She got it to 16.
Well, I rolled a D10 and gave her 7 points because she studied the book.
As well, you should. Okay. Great. That's as should be. So, yeah, you can have her intone that strange song that she once sang from the book in the previous adventure when you invaded the esoteric order of Dagon in London. You can have her do that if you'd like. Is that what you'd like to do?
Oh, she's going to sing that song in the pouring thunderstorm down at the back of this figure, for sure.
Okay. Give me a hard power roll. This is you and so Wilma. You guys are probably. I mean, you should let me know how you react to this, McCorquodale and Pip Bothwick. Wilma runs out into the yard where the rain is now coming down, and as the creature lopes off down the road, Wilma starts singing this guttural song. She has to sing it from deep in the back of her throat. And she intones a spell. And Wilma, how did it go? How did your hard power roll go?
That hard power roll was in fact an extreme success.
Whoa.
It was.
Oh,
it?
nice.
Okay. In that case,
Wiggles.
Wilma.
Crushing it.
Wiggles ain't a child no more.
No, she isn't. Now, does she know what the spell that she's intoning does?
No idea.
Yeah.
It might have an
She is playing with fire.
That's
Well,
always
Pip
a
might have
smart
an
play.
Pip might have an idea since he has studied arcana and things mysterious and spooky.
It's hard to find.
So maybe
it.
I can do an occult roll.
You may do an occult roll if you'd like, Pip Bothwick. Go ahead and do that if you'd like. All
So
right.
it's a 22 and my occult is 60, so I did pretty damn good.
Okay, so you did well.
Yeah.
You can tell that Wilma is intoning some sort of summoning chant. It's some sort of incantation intended to call something forth. But Wilma, I have news for you. The first thing is that you're going to lose 1d3 sanity as you feel, just for a moment, something out there past the city, something out there in the rain. You feel it respond, and you lose 1d3 sanity.
That's a 1. Well, it was a 2, so I'll lose 1.
And Wilma, after that, everything goes quiet and the connection is broken. So,
That's right, now I remember. I'm calling on a deep one.
well,
Okay.
perhaps you have. But for now, I want to know what next. And I want to be clear as the keeper. You guys don't have to do what he's trying to blackmail you. I mean, in the worst way. He's trying to terrorize you into doing something he wants you to do. You don't have to do it. You can take other actions.
I asked the professor, I asked the doctor, what is this man talking about? What happened in the, tell me more about your secret experiments.
Well,
And why didn't you write it down so I could read it?
Well, I'll tell you this, I did write it down, but my first editor told me that it was too crazy and that people would think I was insane and it would destroy my reputation. And yes, okay, the first proof did get out, and it did mean that I never got hired to any medical department at any university in the country again.
I don't know if you know, Mr. McCorquodale, but that's why both Pip and I have chosen to
Doctor!
go with you.
Dr. McCorquodale! I didn't spend 7 years at medical school with a passing grade to be called Mister by you, young Wiggles.
Fair enough. My name is Wilma. Or you can call me
Yes, let's-
Mr. Middlemass because I like it when you refer to me in gender-neutral terms.
Very well.
Let's
I'm
all-
extremely confused by what gender you are, and that's
I
fine.
rip off my
Let's-
skirt and I'm wearing just men's pants underneath.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
let's all
me!
Let's all please refer to each other as we'd like to be called.
Yes.
Mr. Middlemass, Dr. McCorquodale, Henry, we already met him,
Yes.
and me, Pip
I don't think he
Worthwick.
likes-
That's Borthwick. Pip is spelled how it sounds, PIP.
Look, here's my thinking. If that book can tell us how that creature was made, it can tell us how the creature can be unmade. And that's my act break line.
Oh,
And what a delightful act break it was. So, just to do a little bit of role-playing game business, are we planning on maybe grabbing the book
I think we
when it
get the
arrives?
Yeah, we should get
Yeah.
the
yeah,
book.
we get the book, but we're not going to do what he wants. We're going to
No.
come up with our own plan.
So,
First of all, I wonder. May I just before we start do that though? Can I ask if perhaps Master Bothwick may
Yes.
be able to use his considerable resources to put my sister somewhere where she may be safe and where she may be cared for?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I imagine she
On,
won't be moving her
on
neck.
one condition.
Yes.
You have to tell us everything you know. No more secrets.
Yes. Of course.
Right.
This is no time for secrets.
Um,
So what
yeah.
happened was.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What
Yeah.
happened was what happened in that last adventure, which was some months ago now, and
Yes,
I'm
certainly.
an old man. I don't necessarily remember all of the details.
Well, that's okay. I can kind of fill people in. very briefly, when Dr. John McCorquodale was on his expedition to the North Pole, he and the rest of his party, their captain died, the leader of the expedition died, and then they encountered this creature out in the ice. This creature stole the captain's body and was using notes to enact some sort of ritual regarding the captain's body. And then John McCorquodale and his fellow party members and a bunch of sailors marched out into a whiteout, marched through a snowstorm at the North Pole, found their way to the little igloo where the creature was carrying out the ritual, attacked it with everything they had, and McCorquodale significantly got his hands on the notes the creature was using at one point and threw them into the fire. The creature did escape, though, into the icy water at the very end after Johnson Bell Reginald, your party member, almost destroyed it with acid. The creature looks quite a bit better now, and I think you noticed is better dressed.
Yes.
So he has survived, and he is pissed off. And for some reason, he wants, and I that might not be clear at this point, but for some reason, he wants you to translate this book for him. Perhaps he does not speak the language that the book is written in.
You know what's interesting? Wilma, you were just speaking in tongues randomly. Perhaps that has something to do with it. Do you think so, Dr. McCorquodale?
Unrelated, I would say.
Yes. What was that foreign talk you were speaking? Is that Russian?
Yes. Yes, it was Russian. I speak a bit of Russian. I thought he might have been Russian based on the furs we first saw him in. He seems to be from someplace very cold, which you have confirmed.
Strange and rude, much like Russians.
Yes, that was my thought, yes.
And so, you know that this boat, the Narius, well, first of all, let me just say that, Pip, if you agree to do so, you have, you guys spend the rest of the evening getting Margaret,
of course,
set in one of the finest places to convalesce in all of Edinburgh. She is in the lap of luxury. It is not private care, but it is very good care. Okay, then let's talk about what you're going to do the next morning.
Well, perhaps we should Perhaps we should get in the personal yacht that my family owns ahead of time before we're supposed to meet with him and do a little investigation on that boat that we're supposed to be going to.
The boat is due to arrive at 2 p.m. and he said it's called the Narius. Pip, you say that your family has its own yacht. You're going to need to roll your credit rating for that to be true.
Sure.
Seems possible.
If so, perhaps
30.
we can get some breakfast.
Pip, is that a success?
It
is.
What am I picking mine again?
Credit rating.
Credit rating, yeah. Oh, for sure. My credit rating is like 70.
Okay, Pip, I think you can check the little box beside credit rating because I think that's really clever that you're maybe just going to sail out to the boat before it even arrives. But you can definitely be down at the docks, with the story that you are dealing with your own boat. Let me know how you want to use that. But yes, your family does have its own boat.
Can we go there now? Are we on the yacht?
Certainly. Should we say the next morning?
Let's all go. Well,
yeah,
first we have to
I
stop
imagine
at
we
home.
haven't slept.
Yes, so you get very few hours of sleep that night because you spend a lot of the evening getting Margaret, settled.
Situated.
Into
We
a
also
place
have to
where
stop at home so I can get my sailing clothes.
Very good. You are able to go
Patterson
back.
didn't bring these sailing clothes with you.
Oh, you're right. Let's check.
You never
yeah.
know.
Good point.
I'm making fun of them. I didn't.
I'll go back and get them, sir. So you do get some hours of sleep, but not many, 3 or 4, before you decide to meet back at the surgery, let's say, and discuss your plan. The docks are a short walk from here.
Before, in those few hours, I don't go back to the boarding house.
Oh,
I
very
go
good.
to the home of one Theodosia Cornelius.
Yes,
rather,
Theodosia Cornelius. Yes, your friend.
My very dear friend. Yes, she lives with her family in a very fine estate, a manor, and I climb in the window to visit her.
You two have got some very posh friends. I go back home and have an argument with Mehmet about my rent again. What? It's only been 6 hours. Where am I supposed to have got the money from, Mehmet?
I'm not 100% convinced that was Russian. It may have been Russian, but I'm not 100% so convinced. So I'm researching it a little bit in my library.
Give me a library use roll, Pip, and you climb into Theodosia's window at like 3 in the morning, Wilma, and you spend the night together.
So roll was 32, and my library is 45.
Okay, I'll let you know what you find out in just a moment, Pip. Theodosia, when you awaken the next morning, pretty early, the gray light is kind of coming in through her big, window that opens onto her balcony. You can see that Theodosia is awake and kind of looking out the window like this.
Theodosia? Oh, Theo, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. I'm being silly. I thought I saw something.
I jump up and I rush to the window.
There's nothing out
you
there.
can see my muddy boot prints have left big tracks from the bed where I kicked off my boots.
Oh, no. I have to clean this up. They can't know you were here.
All right.
You should go.
I know I should come in the front door. Of course, we're just friends, right? And then I kiss her sensually on the cheek. Can I roll for spot hidden when I peek out the window? I'm sure there's nothing.
You may.
Just in case.
Yeah, you may.
Terrible roll.
Okay. You don't see anything, but it's getting to you. It's getting to you, Wilma. What did she see? She said she saw maybe someone down on the street looking up at the window for a moment. That's all she knows. She thinks she might have seen that. And
I'm sorry I came here. Please let me know and maybe run if you see anything unusual. I shouldn't have come.
Yes, all right, my dear. Be safe. Be well. I have to clean this up because there's muddy footprints all over her bedroom. She doesn't quite get it. She doesn't quite get the danger she might be in.
No.
And you're not letting her know.
No. Really, though, you may want to visit your aunt in the country for a bit. I have to go, and you may not see me for perhaps a fortnight.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Nothing. Just an adventure. Getting to the bottom of something. I've told you when I was young.
I want to come on an adventure.
Theo, no. You can't. It's not safe. Maybe someday.
Well, go then. Go. My lady's maid will be here any moment.
Right. Goodbye. And I climb out the window. Down the drain pipe. Do they have drain pipes? Whatever.
Yeah. They certainly did. And you can shimmy down them. They were easier to shimmy down at that time. Pip, you have been researching all night. Make a constitution roll for me, because you stayed up kind of looking into this stuff.
Ooh, 88. Yikes.
Okay, so
I'm tired.
you like wake up like whoa, with your like face in a book, like there's drool all over the front of it. Whatever.
Patterson, a brandy, please.
Yes. He already had it ready. Click.
What would I do without you?
Whatever Wilma was speaking was 100% not any Russian at all. It was not Russian, but
That's not Russian.
But it does remind you of certain languages you've heard kind of told about in your occult studies. Languages like Aklo, the witch's tongue. All right, so when you all meet at the surgery the next morning to make your way down to the docks and head to the Narius, let me know what it is you do.
Well, I'd like to say that I do a stocking up my medical bag sequence akin to that scene in Commando where Arnold Schwarzenegger puts all the stuff in, where I'm like, shh, like putting like different pots of chemicals all over my body
Yes.
to an appropriate 80s synth soundtrack, and also just before I leave, I like lock the door and I very loudly go like, "Bye, Mehmet, I love you,
I hope nothing ever happens to you. You're the one person that would really upset me if you got hurt.
Nice.
Mimic curses at you vociferously in Turkish.
Yeah, and I can't help myself. I'm like, go fuck yourself as I leave.
Very good. And you meet your two students down at the surgery, and now you guys can make a plan. And if you want, you don't have to make an elaborate plan. You can just go down and take a look. We know one resource you have is the Bothwick family yacht, which is docked down there.
Bothwick, great idea. What if I like this plan of meeting the ship before it comes to shore?
Or even docks.
Yes. Yes, and then we'll find this, what was his name? This, Mr. Ma?
I've got an idea. We'll pose as a customs cutter. We'll use the yacht to stop them out in the Firth of Forth. Then we'll board the ship and tell them we need to check over to make sure that everything's right with the ship's manifest. And while we're on there, then I don't have the rest of the plan, but we'll get the book and we'll fuck off.
Yeah, we can fuck up. That's it, Doctor. Do we need any sort of identification that we could perhaps create while we're here in the surgery? As the customs?
Yes,
Perhaps,
well, what we need
what
some
about
sort
this
of
hat?
uniform.
Now,
You have
question.
this hat. You have just this box of hats here, maybe from all the corpses you've taken them from.
Yes, that's right.
I point out to them that I am indeed a master disguise and have a trunk full of costumes if we need to go incognito.
It's absolutely correct that Pip Borthwick has a considerable disguise skill.
Excellent. Well, disguise away.
Right.
Please, dress me up.
Turn the three of us into people who look like customs officers.
Yes.
Don't roll yet. Yeah, Pip turns the three of you into people that look like customs officers, and we'll roll later to see if his disguises that he gave you were any good.
Sure.
But I can tell you that they don't look ridiculous. You look like you're in
Nautical
Her Majesty's Navy.
So powerful.
And McCorquodale, you would know what that looks like.
Can I get a bonus because I've still got like my threadbare old naval uniform stuff? So my stuff is based off like this is actually a Navy uniform.
I give him like a beard, just for his part of the disguise.
Very good. I mean, I think that you know what? I think that with McCorquodale knowing what someone like this would, how they would be dressed and having some of his old pieces himself, I think that when we do roll the disguise, I am going to give you a bonus die. Okay?
Great.
Should I go as a boy or a girl? Were there girls
That's
in the
completely your
customs?
choice. No, there are not. But
Boy, it is. Dress me up, Pip.
All right. Oh, exciting.
Okay. And so soon you are standing in front of Pip's family yacht, and the three of you are dressed. You decided to go as a boy. Is that correct, Wilma?
That's right.
Okay, so the three of you are standing looking like fine young naval officers, including Patterson, who actually looks more believable than any of you.
I love this scene.
Patterson. Wow.
So the plan is to just go out into the North Sea looking
we're gonna
for
try
this
and
boat?
intercept them in the Firth of Forth. Not
Yes,
technically the North
right.
Sea. That's the big estuary of the river there. But
So-
then we'll catch them as they're coming into dock and be like, "Oh, it's random spot check. Just need to come aboard, check your ship's manifest, check the cargo, make sure there's no smuggling going on here."
Right. We'll have Patterson drive.
Yes.
Well, it's actually going to take all of you because you are manning a yacht. So this sounds like a very reasonable plan, or at least one that player characters would try. So let's give it a shot. First, I just want you to sail out there, and I can tell you that it's a calm day as the sun rises in the east over the port here. Seagulls hack and cough as they kind of flutter around you. And you all make your way onto the yacht. And Pip rolled so well, I think it's a very seaworthy vessel. I think it's a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. So let's see, there's 4 of you. I guess that would be enough to maneuver a small
I think
yacht.
it's probably only it's just a wee cutter. It's not a big
Yeah.
it's not a great big thing.
Yeah, it's not a. It's
All
not
right,
a
calm
monster.
down, Doctor.
Oh, sorry, you forget that I was in first-rate ships of the line.
So all I need is a roll. What should our roll be to man this boat out to where you need it to go?
I'm naturally just going to shovel the coal, as was my station in life for many years, so maybe strength.
Oh, don't shovel any coal on this boat, Wilma, because you will set it on fire. This is this predates or does not take into account. I mean, it doesn't predate steam technology.
Sailing yacht?
But it is a sailing yacht. That's right.
Ooh.
So you man the mast.
Does anybody have a navigation skill?
In my younger days.
I think I did, and I took points out of it at one stage. Yeah, I've got a whole navigation skill.
And I'll use my amazing ability to supervise.
Well, let's see. Is Patterson skilled in these kinds of things?
Oh,
Let's
absolutely.
See if he is.
Oh, shall we roll? Let's see.
Yeah, actually, roll your credit rating, Pip, and if you roll, if you can roll a hard success on your credit rating, Patterson, he was hired from the best agency, and in fact knows how to man a watercraft.
I am skilled in physics. I'm somewhat of an amateur student and have been doing a lot of reading in physics on my own, as well as chemistry and biology. So perhaps I have intellectual knowledge of how a sail would theoretically work.
That's a very interesting theory, scientist Wilma, but it also seems kind of out there. So let me see how Patterson does, and then maybe your physics could help.
65. I just made it.
You just made your credit rating, but you did not make the hard roll on your credit rating. No. Okay.
May I offer something?
Yes, you may.
I spent my life, man and boy, on board sailing ships, and although I never actually ever pulled on a rope, I don't know how to hand refill steer or ship a salvagee. That's a fucking callback to the Pirates of Penzance from earlier. Well, no, it's not technically. It's HMS Pinafore. So fuck off, everybody. But could I use my education roll to see if I've retained seeing what all the sailors have been doing? And
well, that would make a lot of sense, Doctor. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Okay. I made it. I got a 70 against my 90. My education.
Okay. So here's what I'd like now. We know that Pip is contributing Patterson. He made that roll. Wilma wants to contribute physics. I'll allow it. Wilma, roll your physics.
Yeah, barely.
Barely, you made it. Okay. I'm going to rule that the doctor barely gets you out to that, out to that place. I mean, like, really, like, you guys are, like, making a mess of it, and the ship is, like, it's like almost on its side as it, like, moves out. And, like, now you can see that there is a very large 3-mast clipper with Narius on the side of it, like, charging into the bay, and it's like it's possibly going to smash into your boat without ever even noticing you guys, because you guys are like like kind of careening your way out there and not completely in control of the ship. And so now, for all the marbles, the doctor can roll his education, and if he succeeds, you don't crash your ship.
Now, may I also? Okay, what about this? What about this, Jared?
Yes. Let me see if I can.
Let's make this interesting. Let's make this fun.
Throw it out there.
Okay.
Let me hear.
What if? All right, I'll roll you an education roll. But
Sure.
if I make it hard, not only do we avoid crashing into them, but we also throw up the appropriate signal that says basically heave to and prepare to receive like an inspection on our flags.
That is agreed to. That is
okay.
Love it.
Love is gambling.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah! 43 against the 45.
Yes.
Done.
So I mean, against all odds, your boat is kind of like yawling all over the place. It's you almost crash into the side of the clipper, but you manage to kind of pull alongside and put up the proper signal, and soon you hear voices on the clipper yelling, "Hey, whoa, prepare to be boarded!" And you can see sailors looking down at you now, commercial sailors looking down at you. And soon they've thrown a ladder down, and you guys can board.
All right.
I'll go first. I love to climb.
All right.
Great.
A man,
Warm up the side.
a very taciturn-looking man with enormous red, mutton chops, and a lot of ceremony in his apparel, meets you at the top of the ladder, and he goes, "Hello, I'm Captain Collins.
Good day to you,
Can I
Mr.
help
Collins.
So
Ready to
we're here
start?
with the customs, and we've just got to do an inspection of some of your finer class passengers.
Excuse me, an inspection.
That's right,
Is it-
customs and excise. We just need to check you're not bringing anything in that you shouldn't be. Where's the ship's manifest? Come on, let's
This
go.
is
Chop, chop.
very, very unusual. He is now going to look carefully at the three of you, and that is when Pip is going to roll his disguise roll.
Okay. Hold on. I need
And
to
Pip,
find which. Oh,
You
okay.
can roll it. You can roll it twice and take the better of the two rolls. I'm giving you a bonus die thanks to McCorquodale.
22. I don't need it.
Oh shoot! So he you can see him scanning up and down, and you even have the proper little, badges on.
Pip,
and he's like-
does it right. Pip does it upright. Pip's not a fuck around.
He's like, I know Dylan's in customs. We have an understanding. Fine, come
Dylan?
on.
Dylan's is fired.
You're talking about
It's us
Dylan?
now.
Yeah, Dylan's been put in jail. Apparently
What?
he's been
That scumbag, he was caught
You got mad, man. In jail?
Cook-
sneaking
cook in the
liquor in.
boots.
Yeah, not paying taxes on it.
Oh,
Not
Cooking the
well,
books,
come
bringing
on,
liquor
then.
in.
not
Yes, he
enough
did all of
taxes and too
our
much opium. Terrible.
all of our three separate explanations. He did all of them.
All of them are true.
well, I'm not. I
Praise
mean,
come of the earth.
this guy, you've thrown him off. You had a good story. You had a good disguise, and you had the proper code.
You
And
have
so
the passenger manifest.
he hands you the passenger manifest, and you see right away that there are
I'm sorry, question before we go. Is Patterson with us or is he still on the boat?
Patterson can stay on the boat, or he can come with you. Which do you want?
Let's
We should
bring him
probably
with
leave
us.
someone sailing the boat.
Probably leave him in the boat.
All right.
Yeah. We're not
I
gonna
think
get back on that boat
unfortunately,
if it
that's
just-
a good point. I think
fair.
someone's going to have to stay in the boat. So,
Patterson,
okay.
I'll miss you.
Very good. You're handed the passenger manifest, Doctor, and you immediately see that there aren't that very many first-class passengers. This is a big boat. They're out of Copenhagen. A couple days out of Copenhagen, they've crossed the North Sea to Edinburgh, and they are carrying a passenger named Doyle Dustin Marr.
Doyle, Dustin, Mark.
He is
GTM.
traveling with a Lady Joan Cowden.
Great.
Does it list their cabin number?
It does. Yeah, you could go right there if you'd like.
Let's all go straight
yeah.
there.
He's like, but why the first is the captain? But why the first class passengers? Surely you need to check my cargo.
We received a telegram from Copenhagen saying that they're trying to chase an international jewel thief. Goes by the name of the Viper.
And the Viper smuggles the Fabergé eggs.
That's right, Fabergé eggs. You heard him.
Fabergé eggs. Well, good luck in catching them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
He has a
But
true hate to
please-
Fabergé eggs, it seems.
Please hurry. I know we're close to the port, but the weather seems to be turning.
Aye. Well, if you want, you can carry on to Leith Docks. We'll just stay on board and conduct our search while you do so.
Officers! I get them to lean in close.
Yeah.
I feel the storm may mean our friend is approaching, if you know what I mean. We should do this quickly.
Yes, we must be swift about it.
Yes.
Let's go down
Very
to
good.
the cabins.
Well, first, I think on the name Doyle Dustin Marr, if anybody would like to, they may roll a cult roll.
Hold on.
Let me.
I'm gonna do it too.
I'll roll.
No,
Because I have a high occult.
don't know it.
54. My occult is 60, so.
Nicely done.
No, don't worry about me.
Okay. Pip, you've heard of this man. This man is he's a spiritualist. He conducts seances. And he was actually in the news a little bit last year when a bunch of people...
Have I been to one of his seances before?
It's very likely that you have been, because he likes to conduct seances for the filthy rich and those who are quite famous. Last year, his reputation took a lot of hits. A lot of quite prominent people, including the poet Robert Burns, came out and said that his seances were frauds, that he is a charlatan. So that is who Doyle Dustin Marr is, and that is the man who reportedly has this book.
Pip, if what you say is true, perhaps he wants the book to prove himself as a true seer.
That's got it. That must be it.
But he's playing with very dark magic, and he must be taught a lesson. I say we go in there guns blazing and scare the bejesus out of him.
I'm with him.
Okay, you come to the stateroom where Mr. Marr is reportedly staying.
I want to try and kick the door open and throw a knife, but I'm not trying to kill. I throw the knife to land like in the bathroom lavatory door.
Please, may I say before just as we're on our way down there, I'm like rummaging in my gear, and I've got a giant, very old-fashioned looking syringe that is full of morphine, and I've stuck it in my jacket.
Wow, Pip! I only wonder what Pip's thinking as the doctor and Wilma is like taking her knife out and getting like ready, and like the doctor's like looking at his syringe as you all kind of walk down to this stateroom.
Pip's thinking, I wish I brought my rifle so I could blast it through this guy's eye from the door.
I was thinking
very good.
Are you curious, doctor? Why do you have morphine and you can't? And but class is so shabby.
Listen, because here's my plan. We'll inject this guy, right? And we'll knock him out. It'll be absolutely cool. We can toss his entire cabin, find this book, and then be off this ship before he wakes up.
Very smart.
It's not as fun as my plan of throwing knives, but it'll...
My plan is shooting.
Listen, by all means, throw your knife. Shoot at him.
Okay.
He'll be just so distracted, I'll then stab him in the arse.
Perfect. I'll create a distraction.
Okay, so the three of you move back to the stateroom door, and are you kicking it in, Wilma?
Yeah!
Wilma, don't even bother rolling. Your foot smashes open the door. It flies open, and there on the bed, you see a red-headed, mustachioed Scotsman. Yes, this is him, Doyle Dustin Marr. But due to the vicissitudes of a role-playing game, he is not currently dressed like that. No, Doyle Dustin Marr is actually on top of a quite large woman who could only be Lady Joan Cowden. And they are currently not dressed. And they were giggling and laughing and having adult time together when Wilma kicked open the door with a knife in her hand.
Oh!
And the woman is turning to look at all of you, and she's about to scream in the way Margaret Dumont would in a Marx Brothers movie. So
don't scream!
Do I know Lady Joan Caldon, since she is a lady and I am an aristocrat?
Ooh,
I yelled, don't scream. Did she not scream?
She hasn't screamed yet. I'm giving you guys all a chance to act.
Okay.
Pip, you 100% know Lady Joan Cowden. And I can tell you more about her later, but right now, you got to handle this situation. She's looking up at you and going, and what do you do?
I call her down. I say, Lady Joan Caldon, it's me, Pip Bothwick. We didn't mean to startle you during your adult time. But we had a little bit of business. You see, this is Dr. John McCorquodale and his gutter sniper.
Before all that happens, I'm gonna run and jump on the bed and put a hand over her mouth. She's underneath, and then I imagine that maybe McCorquodale will take this moment to morphine the guy, but I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Pip, I want you to roll charm. Wilma, I want you to roll fighting. And McCorquodale, are you going to go for the morphine right now, or are you going to try something else?
I think you said he's got a giant bobbing arse is like above us, so that looks like a big target for me. Something to
Colossal fail on charm.
Perfect. Okay, so I want fighting from you as well, McCorquodale. I want fighting from you as well.
Ooh, okay. I'm not very.
I got.
Okay.
Can I get any sort of benefit bonus for like surprising him? Because he is currently inside another person, and so he's probably not ready for someone to come
Well,
and,
he's not.
come and jab him.
Okay, this is a family. He is. His ass is prominently in your vision, so it is pretty easy. Yeah, you know what? You can take a bonus die on that.
Great. Don't. And you know what? I'm going to spend the luck because I don't want to take the chance of re-rolling this again. So I'm going to spend 3 luck. And that means that I go right on his ass with my hand, like whap right on his bum, and it goes a bright red handprint, and I go yeah, and like jet like
Great.
300 milliliters of morphine straight into his ass.
I had a hard success of covering her mouth, so any scream won't be heard.
Okay, Pip, how'd your charm roll go?
Colossal failure.
Okay, so yes, you stopped her from screaming, Wilma, but you're now wrestling with a very large naked woman as her paramour falls like suddenly is full of morphine and like kind of falls limp on top of the 3 of you. So Wilma is now wrestling. She's got a
I move 1 foot onto each of her upper arms, so I'm like playing a game of Twister.
Great. So this round, she's going to try to get free from you, Wilma. The clothes and various accoutrements and items of these 2 people are laying strewn about the room. I want to know how the other 2 are going to find that book while Wilma Middlemass wrestles this quite considerably forceful woman.
I'm just like drawing another big syringe of morphine.
Okay, so the doctor's going to make sure that. Oh, smart. Okay, I get it.
I search as they're doing that.
Okay, Pip, let me know where you're going to search. Think about it for a second. I'll come back to you, okay? McCorquodale, yeah, you draw another thing of morphine, and you're going to go into the Lady Joan now. But first, let's see if you get the opportunity. Can you roll fighting versus Lady Joan,
I can. Can I do it at advantage again? Because I didn't even use my advantage last time, and she is being pinned down by one of my pals.
I think it's fair. I think it is fair. So yes, you may use your bonus die.
That's lucky.
Can we just like reuse my hard success from last time?
It would be great if you
failed.
could. But I can tell
I failed
you.
both times.
Okay. Let's see what happens here. Go ahead, Wilma. You roll your fighting as well. I've rolled Lady Jones, so I know.
Now
No?
I get her that first round, but then she flings me off, I assume.
How much did you fail by?
50 points.
50 points. Okay.
48.
She
Okay.
failed.
That's plenty.
She failed by like 9 points as well. So you both failed. So what I'm going to rule is she does like fling you off, like Wilma goes whack, like into the side of the stateroom.
Get
and Lady
a
Jones is, like,
doctor!
fading out, but she hasn't screamed or anything yet.
So I've been searching through all this stuff so far, but like I haven't gotten into it, and I've noticed that that it's turned. And I use my law knowledge to calm, and I want to do a law roll to calm her down and inform her that she is a woman of status rolling around naked, and it's obscene. It's against the law.
Okay, Pip, what it actually sounds
Now,
like
let's
you're
not
doing
shame her, Pip.
is intimidating her. You're intimidating her. Now, we're not shaming her, but perhaps Pip is using sort of the authority of these custom officials kind of like cover to say, hey, you know, this could be bad for you in society, right?
Right. That's what I'm
Okay,
doing.
I think that's an
It's
intimidating.
a shameful time.
But you know what? Law. Actually, no. I'll allow you to use law. That's funny. You're quoting like certain weird statutes on the books that are saying an unmarried woman can't.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's 1850. She's having sex on a boat naked. It's 1855. It's problematic.
58, exactly.
It's 58.
And-
It's problematic.
But here's the thing: anytime something sexist happens in the game, any lady playing in the game gets to check a skill. So, Becca, go ahead and check any skill you want. All right. How'd you do on that? Yep.
Oh, should I roll? Sorry.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, I failed.
Oh, okay. So apparently.
Well, let me just say, madame, that I'm sorry to look, but you look very lovely in the nude. Whatever he says.
Okay,
that's not a
what
roll.
happens.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling her.
No, that's quite all right. Here's what I think happens. I think, Doctor, you finally get that other syringe to hit home. I think that Wilma, you got flung against the wall so hard. I want you to take 1 hit point off of yourself, please.
That's fair.
Your head is badly bruised. And guys, there has been
the knife on my back that I landed on.
Christmas is going to be very awkward.
There's been a tremendous commotion in this room, and people are going to know something happened here pretty soon. In minutes. So
can we all do spot hidden?
Quick. Yeah, but you're going to tell me where you're looking. What are you looking for?
A black book.
Okay.
I locate a safe, and I think that it might be in there. The book might be in there.
Okay. You locate a safe, and you think it might be in there. Yes, you do. And now you just have to get the safe open.
Right. So
while he's
Wilma,
doing
do you know anything about lock cracking?
Dr. McCorquodale, what were you going to say?
Well, can I look at if there's like a writing desk, like a bureau type thing that might have like some papers on it, or any books or anything like that?
There certainly is. Would you like to look through that?
Yes, please. I'd like to
Give
use
me
my
a spot
library use.
hidden.
Library
Oh,
use.
library use.
Spot
You
hidden.
may use library use.
That's better than my spot hidden, I think. Yeah.
Wilma, where would you like to look?
Under the mattress, of course. It's rather difficult with these bodies, but have either of them fallen off the bed?
No, you can make a strength roll to look under the mattress.
Okay.
I've made it hard.
Sir, the thing that you are absolutely certain of is that the book is not on this desk.
Great.
But the thing you have found, you have found some notes that are by Dr. Conrad. Notes by Dr. Conrad. They look like supplementary material, something that was a part of this estate sale, and they are Conrad's notes, but you do not have the black book.
Okay, well, I'm shoving the notes into my pocket. Can I also ask, one other thing I'm looking for, I'm scanning around for, is any jewelry, any like loose jewelry?
Ooh.
Okay, spot hidden from McCorquodale. How'd you do on your strength roll, Wilma?
Made it.
You push both bodies off of the bed as you sling the mattress over. I'm afraid, Wilma, there are no books or underneath the mattress. Pip,
I'm still impressed.
I use my spot hidden to see it. Do I just roll?
Doctor, did you see what I just did?
Where are you looking? And I can tell you that right now, you now hear the captain banging. Hey, what's going on in there? Banging on the door outside.
I'm looking amongst the papers around for a possible code to the safe.
As he's doing that, I want to slam the bolt shut on the inside of the door.
Oh, okay, great. The bolt is slipped shut, and you hear the captain go, "Hey, what's the meaning of this?" And Pip, you're looking.
We're making love in here, sweet love. Don't bother us.
Don't bother to roll. There's no code on the papers for the safe. Either they're told it and they remember it, or they haven't written it down, but you don't have it there.
Pip,
So,
think, what's the lady's birthday?
McCorquodale, did you succeed in your spot hidden to find jewelry?
I did, yes.
Okay, McCorquodale, you find the clothes of the two people who were just in coitus on the floor nearby, and there is some jewelry among those clothes.
Right, I'm scooping it all up.
You're scooping it all up. Okay, you have the clothes and the jewelry.
Just the jewelry. I mean, not the clothes. I'm not interested in the clothes.
Just the jewelry.
Okay, no problem. Here's what I want you to make a luck roll. And I would like the other two to let me know what they're doing about the captain, because you're out of time.
Okay,
You can
so
now do
I
other people-
yelled through the door, we're making sweet love in here. Please don't bother us.
What's that, McCorquodale?
I didn't make my roll.
Okay,
so
very good.
I address the captain through the door and try to explain to him that we are making the love of of king and country, because we're here to investigate. We're still the customs people.
Wilma and Pip are just like yelling, just doing a When Harry Met Sally through the door.
Well, your When Harry Met Sally it has two different explanations, and it's absurd. And so you hear him go, yeah, I'm afraid it's just absurd. So you hear him go, all right, break the door down, boys. And then you can hear like, smash coming in the door. Everybody has time to do one more thing to try to find this book.
I want to get lucky on a knife throw at the lock of the safe.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, make an extreme throw roll.
Okay.
I would like to. Now, this might be. Well, no, I'll let you do this first. Sorry.
Can I push it?
You can push it. I want you to describe to me what it is you're doing. You're doing
I'm standing across the room. I grabbed my left ankle knife, and I square up to the safe, and I fling it, and it just bounces off and misses. And so, on the second one, wow, how can I up the ante? All right.
I want to tell everybody that this heist is reminding me of Zoolander when they're literally banging the computer.
Yeah, I have an idea. Everyone. I'm going to use. Can I use my luck and check the safe to see if it's just open?
Yeah, you can roll your luck.
Okay. Never. I don't want to push that. What I want to do is try and shake Doyle, and maybe in his drugged up stupor, he'll just spill out the code to the safe. I just pick my knife back up.
May I ask something before we even do that? Is it a code safe or is it a key safe?
It is a key safe.
What?
That's what I suspected. It was a key safe. So can I do something? This is it's very illegal, but Jared, we're old friends. We see each other. It's not just here that we see each other. So think about our future relationship. If you
just out and socially, yeah.
May I push my luck roll in the hope that a key is going to fall out of the pocket of some of those clothes that are bundled up on the floor?
You cannot.
I know it was a little bit ago. Can't
you
push
know what?
luck rolls.
We're good friends, and I hope that we can still see each other socially, Humphrey Ker. But you cannot push a luck roll. Pip,
Okay.
how did your luck roll
Right.
go?
All right, I'm out.
Bye. No, come back, please. We need you.
You should just make your profile picture say "F you, Jared."
It was 98.
Okay, so your luck roll is you fail, and so basically you guys are just waiting for the next blow because you can see that the door has already bowed in a bit. You're waiting for the next blow to open the door, and it doesn't come.
What?
That's strange. So we ruined this room for nothing?
And boy, have you ruined it. The room is thrown all to pieces. There's two naked people passed out with a mattress on top of them. There are knives sticking out of the wall from where Wilma's just been flinging them at the safe. Doctor, you have a thought?
Okay, I've got an idea. So I'd like to throw the clothes to Pip and say, search these thoroughly. The key's bound to be in his waistcoat or something like that. Then I'm going to take the jewelry that I've got and I'm going to unbolt the door and step out into the corridor.
Right before you unbolt the door, I said, "Yeah, wait!" And then I just take a sheet and then place it over the lady's exposed breast. All right, go.
Very sensible.
Very sensible.
She's a lady.
Are you searching the clothes?
I am.
You find a black book in Mars' jacket.
No.
That's what we came for.
It's
Why didn't we do that
very
first?
old and it feels very fragile. He has it in kind of like an envelope, and you look down at it and you see that it's an old black book.
Egad, it's the book. Or is it the book? We should check it, right?
Are you going to open it up?
Should we open it up, gang?
I don't know if that's safe. Let's get it out of here.
Okay.
Let's go to McCorquodale for a second. You said you were going to brace yourself and then step out, right?
Yeah, I was going to get all the jewelry they had like in my hands and then open the door and go out.
McCorquodale, you have all the jewelry in your hand. You slide the bolt. You step out into the hallway, and they're not there. But down the corridor and out on the deck of the ship, you hear crack, 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 crack.
Quack?
That monster. What's his name? Henry's here, and he's clearing off these fellas so we can get to the book.
Okay.
This was a part
Yeah,
of the
you-
deal, Henry.
Should we run back to the boat? Your yacht?
Yes, I think
Mad
we should.
dash. All right,
Okay,
run for
so
the boat.
people are running back to the boat, and so you are running, and then I can tell you that as you come out of the the little building on top of the ship where all the staterooms are located, as you run out into the open air, the sky has completely clouded over, and the first thing that you see is one of the merchant seamen that operated the ship laying on the ground with an enormous, like, raking claw wound torn out of his face so that part of his jaw has been ripped off. Make sanity rolls.
I don't like it.
That was one face shredded too many for Wilma.
Wilma, please, you're going to lose 1d4. Would you like to roll 1d4 sanity loss for yourself?
Not particularly.
But you must. But I insist.
I can't reach it, but I see it's a 1.
Okay, you lose 1 sanity from that. McCorquodale, how's your sanity roll go for that?
Cocktail's general opinion of this is like, all right, so what? Who cares? I don't know this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, 0 loss for you if you succeeded. And Pip, did you succeed in your sanity roll?
No, for the first time, this has actually been the gravity of the situation is actually starting to sink in for Pip. For all Pip.
Yes.
Pip, is this your
Apparently,
fault?
Pip, you need to roll a d4. That's the little triangle guy. And that's how many sand you lose. If you need to, I can. If you need me to, I can do it for you.
1.
1. Okay, you lose 1. Pip, all I can tell you is that it truly does sink in. Because whatever did this, Pip, you're such a fan of cryptids, right? You know, like creatures, mysterious, legendary creatures. This was not Henry. Because whatever did this, did it with a raking talent.
I say we get back in the boat and we go further to sea.
But this is peculiar.
Can I
We should totally
examine?
investigate.
Can I examine the gash first?
You can, but as you start to, and you see that it's filled with like seawater, and that there's even like some seaweed hanging off of the man's face, and you hear more screams like out on the deck, in the direction of where you're going.
Fluke! Sergeant, he was a sergeant. I just yelled
Ah.
Fluke.
He might
Yes,
be promoted.
Luke, you yell, Luke.
I summoned him, and so I will bind him. Can I try and bind him to me?
I don't know. Do you think that you can? Let me see. Let me look at your book, which you need to give at some point we need to do, and we can do it during this scenario, a thorough reading where we, kind of pinpoint each of the different points in it that have things you could use.
Cool.
Can you bind him? Let's see. No, all you know how to do is intone that song which calls him.
Okay, well, last time we were pretty friendly.
Oh, I guess you should go and see if you're still on good terms.
I don't know about
Can
that.
you sing the song
Quick,
backwards
open the
to
book,
make sure?
Pip. We have to see if there's a binding spell in your book. This is important.
All right.
What's fine?
So I pull the book out, and can I roll? I
Can I
guess
roll
I'll.
library use if you're not? Mine's 40. Maybe I grab it out of your hand if that's higher.
I have a spot hidden at 50, so maybe I can skim it really fast.
You guys, you can definitely open it up and skim it really quickly. It won't be like the official skimming where you learn all the contents, but I can tell you that Pip, you throw the book open, and the first page reads, "The Book of Dead Names, as translated by Olaus Vermius." Pip, of course, you're reading that in Latin, a language that you are versed in. And I can tell you that in Latin, the Book of Dead Names translates to what you see on the front page, Necronomicon.
It's a
What was
necronomicon.
the translator's name again?
Olaus Vermius. That is when you hear the boards creaking ahead of you. A big, billowing cloud of fog spreads across the deck. and out of it, something is creeping toward you. It's sort of hopping, and you can see that its neck is expanding and then getting smaller, expanding and then getting smaller, and it's reaching toward you with one huge webbed claw. Yes! Yes!
Okay, can I talk to it?
Let's see if you can talk to it. I think that you need to give me a hard power. Well, first of all, everybody needs to make sand rolls. Except McCorquodale, you once saw like 7 of these things.
I've seen many of these things before.
Yeah, so if you'd like to skip the sand roll, I'll allow it.
This exact thing touched my face.
Okay, take it. It's been a while. I think that Wilma still needs to make one because she only saw it on one occasion. And Pip, you definitely need to make one. Pip, it's one of your cryptids. Here it is, ripping the pieces off of semen that it is just murdered, and it's coming toward you, going.
You never get used to a sight like that.
You never really do.
Only ever seen it in books before.
How'd you do there, Doctor?
I passed. Couldn't give a shit.
Very good. You lose. Let me make sure, but I believe that you lose 1. And Wilma Middlemass, how did you do?
I'm just gonna grab my D4 in case I need it, because this. I got scared.
You got scared. Well, it's going to be more than a D4. Could you please roll a D6 for me?
Mm-hmm.
And Pip, how did you do on your roll?
I did very well. I did a 29.
Very good, Pip. You lose 1. Wilma, you lost 5 sanity. Now, you must make an intelligence roll. Wilma, you want to fail this intelligence roll because, Wilma, if you do not fail it, Wilma realizes that her summoning forth flute, summoning forth this deep one, has caused all of these deaths. She's responsible for these deaths, and it's going to drive her temporarily mad.
Hold on. Yeah, no. For a second, I thought I got a 100, a critical failure. But, in fact, I rolled a 10, and I am temporarily insane.
Wilma, the crushing guilt of your kind of like improvised use of this spell, the fact that all these men are dead because of you. Yes, and Wilma, if you'd like, we can roll on a table to see what happens to you, or you can just tell me how you are going to express the insanity.
I scream at the top of my lungs for like a solid 60 seconds straight, and then I just drop to the ground and I lie perfectly still.
Very good. Wilma screams and sobs and falls to her knees. She's laying there useless. She had just told you, maybe I can communicate with it. Now this thing is loping toward the two of you, and I want to know what Dr. McCorquodale and Pip Bothwick do.
I have an idea. I try to use my occult knowledge to identify this monster in any potential ways of disarming and or escaping it.
Sure.
Okay. That's an interesting route, and I'm going to let you do it. Go ahead and roll it, and I'm going to tell you something when you do that. Dr. McCorquodale, what are you going to do?
I'd like to cast my eyes around the deck, desperately looking for a boat hook or a gaff or something that I could use as a weapon that's more substantial than my heavy walking stick.
You immediately see a boat hook, yes.
Yes.
I
failed. This creature's not in any book I've ever seen before.
Well, not only that, Pip Bothwick, but the idea that this is like, a merman or a selkie or something like that, the very thought that you had that it might be something like that sort of fails in a way where you feel utterly distraught, because this thing represents something that is inimical, antithetical to life on Earth as you know it. Yes. You are truly experiencing the cosmic horror of the difference between occult skill and Cthulhu mythos skill. But you have just been studying it and trying to figure out, like, if you know its weakness or what old legend will tell you how to stop it, and you've got nothing as it creeps toward you. And McCorquodale has pulled a big boat hook off of the side of one of the deck rails, and McCorquodale, what are you going to do? Yeah,
well, I'd like to say, I'm like, stay back, foul denizen of the deep. We have no argument with you here. Go back to the briny filth from which you've sprung. Words to that effect.
Okay, make an intimidate roll.
Oh, I think he's going to shit his pants. What's that based on? Oh, I've got 15. Oh, just the 67 against the 15. So he's not scared of me at all.
No, and in fact, it reaches down and it picks up Wilma. And it has her in its arms. And now it is turning back toward the ocean, turning back toward the rail, and starting to sort of.
Do I have control over?
Well, I call out. I call out. Patterson, take the shot.
Patterson, come on!
Oh dear. A shot rings out. Blood spreads across the deck. And we'll find out next time who was shot and what their fate was.
Oh, God.
What a twist.
Well, it seems like I got to build a new character.
Today's story of the Neptune Society has been the Resurrection Man.
Oh, no. And then that whole deep one again.
Yeah, you just had to go yelling a summoning spell in the first action scene you had a chance to do it in. I mean,
I'm sorry, Jared. You asked me back, okay? You know what that can be.
Oh no, that's what they're there for, so that players use them. I mean, not only did you did a spell that you knew you got from the Esoteric Order of Dagon that summoned something, and then you guys were like, "Hey, let's all go get on a boat."
You're right. We did do that.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. The boat in the harbor seemed like a trap. I just felt like if we met it, we might actually have an opportunity to take advantage of the situation.
I thought that was pretty great. I thought you guys really handled that really well until you got into the room, and then it became truly in the best way. It was truly in the best way.
The more I play this, doesn't mean I'm going to act logically in any situation.
I mean, I honestly feel like when people bust into staterooms and confront two people having sex or try to steal a book of ancient Cthulhu lore, that's, the way you guys handled it is sort of how it probably happens a lot. Guys, thank you so much. What are you thinking for next time? How are you feeling about this whole caper? Are you going to let this guy, this Frankenstein's creature, bully you around, or are you going to fight back?
Oh, I think we'll find a way to settle his hash.
Yes.
We gotta outsmart him.
Whether we'll all survive.
That is, if I'm still alive.
Yeah. Well, no, there is that. Yeah, we need to find out first if Patterson just shot Wilma.
Although he does want a friend, so maybe we should bring Wilma back. We'll stitch Wilma to.
Ooh, that would be.
Did you see Jared's face?
We'll stitch Wilma to.
Wow! Can I check a box that I'm getting
and
sold to the Frankenstein man as his bride?
You're dead. You're dead.
What?
I'm gonna check a box for that.
What? I mean, next session's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. I want to thank my players again, Mr. Humphrey Ker, Phil Walker, and Becca Scott for being the best Cthulhu players they possibly could be. I'm going to hang out for a second and talk to the chat, but I'm going to say goodbye to these guys. Follow them on crucial things. Bye, Becca Scott.
Bye, Jared. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys. He's Walker Wire on stuff. Phil is. Okay. Thank you. Bye, Becca. Okay, guys, we did it. We did an episode of the Neptune Society. I almost thought we might not be able to do it today. I was at my house. Everything looked fine on my end, but I was apparently looking like like an egg on the stream. I want to apologize for that. We're having really crazy heat here in LA. Maybe that's affecting it. And right now some of you are laughing at my lack of technical knowledge, which is considerable, my lack. But I had such a good time today. I hope you did too. And I promise you that much like the mail, well, not right now, but like the mail before the presidency of Donald Trump, we will get the show through to you. No matter what, the show must go on. We take this very seriously. Pretending to be investigators of the occult in the year 1858 is something that we take seriously here at the Stream of Blood. So I'm hanging out for a second, and I just want to say follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. On those, we are _ Stream of Blood _ and be sure to join the Facebook group because we have a lot of discussions there. And I can tell you that on the Facebook group, someone was like, why don't you set an adventure in Edinburgh? Then I noticed that the good Dr. McCorquodale, our character from one of our first adventures, was from Edinburgh. And I thought, well, why don't we do that? So on the Facebook group, we talk. I take suggestions when they're good, and this was a good one. And I'm going to use more of that idea if the players go in certain directions. We have a couple shows this week. We have, if you're a Cthulhu fan, you have got to tune into part 2 of Coven. That is the show I do with my wife and my wife, Kara Clank, and 2 other hilarious comedians, Lisa Traeger and Megan Gailey, where they play a coven. Well, they call the show Coven of Bitches. That's their title for it. They play investigators in 1920s in Arkham, dealing with paranormal activity. You have enough time between now and Tuesday when Coven airs to watch part 1, which we already aired. It's on YouTube right now. I really encourage you to do so. The funniest thing about that show is the 3 ladies never played role-playing games until they played on this stream. So they approach it differently, and they're better at it than a lot of us. That's all I can tell you. It's a truly hysterical show, and it's a lot like this one because we also use the incredible Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. Thank you, Mike Mason, Paul Fricker, and co. for actually really improving the game this time. I've played every edition of Call of Cthulhu since 5th edition, and they really improved the game with the 7th edition. What else can I tell you? There's a new Vampires of Pittsburgh this week on Wednesday. Vampires of Pittsburgh is our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, and we are starting a new storyline. It is a great time to jump on with that show. If you haven't been able to watch the 21 episodes we've done so far, no problem. You can jump on with this one. You'll kind of get what's going on. The new status quo is that the players, Thomas Middleditch, Ashley Birch, and Ross Bryan, have taken over Pittsburgh's Anarch movement, and they are fighting a war against the Camarilla. And so we will see them plan their targets, plan that war, try to keep their small Anarch army together, and we'll see how all that goes. So tune into that Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. I think that's all I have for you right now. So are there any questions or comments from our chatters, our chat room? Where did you get the shirt? Oh, okay. So I got that shirt, this shirt. I just searched Call of Cthulhu online, and this is called TeePublic is the name of the company. And what TeePublic does is it's like artists, independent artists who create T-shirt designs. They use TeePublic to distribute those designs, and then they get a portion of the proceeds. So, you know, kind of like up-and-coming kind of graphic artist makes up. And I like this because it's Call of Cthulhu, but it's also, if you know your comic books, it's a takeoff on the Incredible Hulk #1. So that's also my favorite Marvel comic is the Hulk, because he's a monster, and I like monsters. Were you aware that fluke is both a type of fish bait and a type of flounder when you pick the name? Easter egg? Oh, wow. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Of course I wasn't. But thanks for keeping an eye on our ichthyology terms. Important in the Neptune Society. Homebrew, do's and don'ts. Well, what are we talking about when we're talking about a homebrew? Some people, they consider a homebrew, they consider it writing up their own rules, right? Coming up with a lot of their own rules. I don't love that. But what I do like is to create my own settings and my own storylines. I don't really love to run out of a published scenario. And I think it's easier to run out of your own head. You know, you can really just read a couple like ideas off the internet and then make like a page of notes, not even a page, and you can run an adventure off of that if you know the game. What I do always when someone asks me, how do I game master, is I point them to smarter people than me. And what I would say is read the book Play Unsafe by Graham Walmsley. He talks a lot about improvising in role-playing games. If you want to play Cthulhu, read Stealing Cthulhu by Graham Walmsley. He kind of tells you how to kind of really get those Lovecraft stories to work in a game format. He's a very smart guy, Graham Walmsley. And maybe also read Ben Riggs's Encounter Theory workbook. Encounter Theory is this thing this guy Ben Riggs kind of formulated, which is just how to make things open-ended so that the stuff that the players are doing actually matters instead of being a railroad to a certain point you've decided they've got to end at. And that's kind of what he gets into. Okay, and I'm going to just always give, I mean, maybe sometimes the books will change, but I'm just going to always keep giving that advice because I can't get it. I read those books once a week. I swear to God, I really read them once a week. I read some passage of them to help me get back into how I'm going to game master. Okay, yeah. Is there anything we can do to support the stream? I noticed subscriptions and bits are an option. I wonder if my awesome producers Brian Baldinger or Clinton Trucks have any thoughts on this. What I would say is please do all the things. Yes, Brian.
Hey.
Hi.
Not yet. I think maybe at some point we'll get to a place where we have a subscription when we're able to support it and do some stuff that makes it worth it to be a subscriber, or maybe if we get a little bit bigger. But right now, I don't know. I'm enjoying just making this stuff for everybody and just trying to grow our community. That's my thinking on it. But
that's how I feel too.
Yeah,
I think that it. Yeah, if you guys have thoughts on it, please let us know. But the best thing you can do right now is just to join all those socials and be active on them. I'll be at Reddit.
Talk to us.
Talk about us on Reddit. That would, like
we could really use somebody who knows how to run a subreddit good, because we have one, but it's not super active. Just don't have the bandwidth to be posting in there a bunch. So if anybody wants to be a mod on Reddit, just message us or email us at streamofbloodroleplaying@gmail.com. And here's Clint. You might have an opinion.
Hi, Clint.
Yeah, I just want to say I think our show rules, and not enough people know about it. Please just tell everybody that we're here and what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And not that you guys aren't. You guys are being have been very supportive, and it's important that you all know that we're extremely grateful. We read all of the comments, all of the messages, and we're really grateful for the support that you guys have been providing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many incredible people. Clancy Knott, Chris Hurd, Marcus Monkman, and now I'm going to forget people, and I apologize, but all of you that are communicating with me about, and me do that, because I am not a social media person, so Brian is teaching me about it. But all of you who are communicating with us on the Facebook group or tweeting or whatever, that really helps us make it better and grow it and know what you want to see and make it cool. So thank you. Great. That's it, right? We're all good. Guys, we'll be back. We'll be back Tuesday. We'll be back Wednesday, and we will be back next Sunday with part 2 of The Resurrection Man. Until then, Shub Nugurath Cthulhu Fatagan. Bye-bye.